joined the Navy in 1972. I went to the University of Minnesota on an ROTC scholarship. And then I got commissioned, went to flight school, and got my wings in December of 1973. And was lucky enough to be one of the first young pilot out of flight school to get selected to fly the Tomcat, which was then a brand new airplane. And then I spent 20 plus years flying the Tomcat and retired after 26 years as a Navy captain, flying operationally for almost that entire time. Well, I don't have the highest hours. I have the most hours in an F-14, and I have about 4,800 hours in the F-14 and about 1,300 carrier landings, so the Navy treated me well. Actually, when I was in the Navy, for my last 10 or 12 years in the Navy, I was the flight demonstration pilot for the F-14. So I got embedded in the air show industry and learned to like it and love it and the people and everything. So as I was transitioning out of the Navy, while I was still active duty, I got checked out in a T6, just like it's flying behind us with the Aeroshell team. So I got checked out in tail draggers and then got checked out in Mustangs and Corsairs. So as at the end of my Navy career, I was already flying air shows in the Warbirds, and then it was just a natural transition to becoming a full-time air show pilot after I retired. Instead of flying off aircraft carriers and flying tactically, I'm now doing low-level aerobatic performances. So it's just a sort of a different mission, but it really hasn't changed me a pilot. It's continued to make me a better pilot because the more experience you have, the more things you have to rely on if something goes wrong.
Cirrus Design's Vision SJ50 single-engine personal jet offers exceptional fuel efficiency, flexible seating for up to 7, advanced avionics, and all the Cirrus safety features you expect, including the Cirrus airframe parachute system. With its V-tail design, the Cirrus Vision is technologically advanced, yet engineered to be simple to fly, to allow owner pilots more lifestyle pursuits than any other personal aircraft. Learn more about the Vision SJ50 at cirrusdesign.com.
It's just a privilege to fly wonderful airplanes, like historic airplanes like the Mustang, the Corsair, and I'm flying this beautiful F-86 on my right side here at Oshkosh. So it's not only is it a privilege and an honor, but it's also a lot of fun. For me, flight it's sort of my life. I mean, it's been the centerpiece of my life and my career for 35 years now, both in the military and the civilian side. So I don't know what I would do if I couldn't fly an airplane. So in my world, I'm flying with great people. So you got great people with you, flying with you, that are motivated the same way and have great skill sets, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful, satisfying professional experience. The biggest thing for an airshow performer is to provide a clean performance. By that I mean that's professionally done, executed really well, that has great entertainment value, but most of all, it's safe. So we don't hurt airplanes or people. The first time I flew here was in 1996 with a Tomcat, and I did a formation takeoff with a Hellcat, and it was sort of the first time that we did sort of we called it Flight of the Cats, but it was the exposure here was pretty incredible, because nobody had seen that before, where you had a World War II fighter flying with a modern jet fighter. I was so concentrating on the Hellcat wing so much I couldn't see the crowd. But then we parked way over here, but everybody really liked it. Just like they do in the last couple days when I'm flying the F-86 with the P-51 and the A-10, so in the Heritage Flight with the Air Force. So it's a great crowd pleaser, and of course it sort of tugs at the heartstrings too, so from a historic perspective.
Integra Release 9 sets a new standard with the easiest to use pilot interface in all of general aviation. Access to any of Release 9's powerful capabilities is as simple as pressing the desired bidirectional page key. Pressing the same key in a desired direction navigates through the clearly labeled tabs with no more guessing as to what a given pilot input would do. Avidyne's Integra Release 9 is the next generation in fully integrated flight deck technology, and the easiest to use page and tab user interface is just one of the many benefits designed to make your flying easier and safer.
I think it's just great entertainment for people who love airplanes. Everybody is captivated by flight and by the airplanes, and if you're flying really exciting airplanes, that adds something too. So it's a draw for people, and I think it's just great entertainment. Particularly for the historic airplanes that we fly, I think it's a thrill to have someone who flew this airplane, like an F-86 or a Corsair or a Mustang operationally, in combat or in World War II or Korea, and then have them see it again. You can just see in their eyes how much they appreciate doing it. And then the other big thing is that I think you touch young people. They get a little spark in there for aviation. I can't tell you how many times, I mean, there's a number, probably half a dozen, but I've come up to young military officers and aviators Navy aviators who said they saw me fly an F-14, you know, like 15 years ago or 20 years ago, and now they're flying an F-16 or an A-10 or an F-18. And they said, you made an impression on me that day, and I pursued that career, and here I am. So I think air shows do the following things. One, they just bring great entertainment to people. Two, they excite, particularly when you fly the warbirds, they bring back great memories for those who actually flew it or have family that flew it. And then most of all, it excites the young people to come into aviation.